Hey everybody, this is Matt. We'll get started here about 9 minutes. everybody. Welcome to Power45 Happy Hour, Friday, September 18th. So this class is going out to all of my Patreon supporters, and it's also public on my YouTube channel. So feel free to go there, share it with somebody else that may want to try a power class. So we're going to go ahead and come on up to the top of our mat. And if you're interested in joining Patreon, if you're just watching on YouTube, got 6 classes a week. Go to patreon.com/theyogamat with 2 T's and you get signed up. Okay, let's come on up to the top. Bring your big toes together, heels just a little bit out to the side. And take your hands to your heart, close your eyes. Let's start to work on our deep breathing here. Just breathing in deep, in and out the nose. The air rushed against the back of your throat. And exhale, relax your arms. In your eyes, inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hands down. Lengthen, look up. Exhale, stepping to a high push up. And when you're in plank, navel drawing in. Hug your elbows into your side, lower down. Try to hover here, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing tops of the feet. And exhale, take it back over the toes. Feet about hip width apart, hands shoulder width. Let's a little bit into this left knee, and the right heel closer down to the floor, get into that calf. And change sides. Switch again. Pressing through the hands, broaden through the shoulders. And one more time, other side. And both heels pressing down. Go ahead and bend your knees, look forward, step the feet up between the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way back up, lift the arms. And exhale, hands back to your heart. Do a couple more of those. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step to a high push up. Lower down again. Inhale, upward facing thighs, lift up. And exhale, back over the toes. So just starting a little bit slower. May begin to add a few jump backs in after this, if you'd like. Completely optional. And get into your calves again if you'd like to, or just both heels reaching down. And bend the knees, look forward, step the feet up. Lengthen, look up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way back up, lift the arms, and exhale, hands back to heart. And again, we can play around with adding some jumping backs this time. Reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hands to your mat. Lengthen, look up. Exhale, step or hop back with elbows bent. Lower down, low push up. Upward dog, inhale. And downward dog, exhale. And up to you. You may choose to jump straight back into Chaturanga. And it's optional. You can just jump back slightly below plank. Just a little bit in the elbows. You can keep stepping back, lowering down. And bend the knees, look forward. Step or lightly hop the feet up. Lengthen, look up. And exhale, fold forward again. Inhale, reach back up. And exhale, hands back to your heart. So let's pause here. We'll take a few rounds of breath, and then we'll move into Surya Namaskar B. Your feet all the way together. Bend your knees. Come into your chair pose, Utkatasana. And exhale, straighten the legs, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, step or hop back, Chaturanga, low push up. Upward facing inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Take a big step forward with your right foot, pivot the left heel down. Inhale, reach the arms up, warrior A. And exhale, take the hands to the floor. We'll step the right leg back, lower down again. Upward dog, breath in. Downward dog, exhale. The other side, big step forward with your left foot, right heel pivots. Inhale, reach the arms. And exhale, hands to the floor, left leg goes back, lower down again. Inhale and exhale. And just focusing on the deep breathing here. Get the air resting against the back of the throat. And so if you ever want to stop and take a little break during class, you can drop down child's pose, take rest as often as you need. And bend the knees, look forward, step or hop the feet up. Lengthen, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, come back to your chair. And press to stand, hands back to your heart. And continue with that. Bend the knees, inhale, back to chair. Exhale, straighten, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, step or hop back, chaturanga, low push up. Upward dog, breath in. Downward dog, exhale, right foot forward, warrior A. Inhale, reach the arms. And exhale, hands to the floor, step the right leg back, lower down again. Inhale and exhale. Warrior A, left foot steps through. Inhale, reach the arms. And exhale, hands to the floor, left leg back, lower down again, looking out beyond the front of your mat. Upward dog, inhale. And downward dog, exhale. Just focus the gaze to one spot there on your mat. Try to get the fingers spreading wide, your palms flat down into the floor. And bend your knees, look forward, step or hop your feet. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold down. Bend the knees, come back to Utkatasana. And press to stand, hands back to your heart. Good. So you can pause here, take a couple rounds here of rest if you'd like. And then whenever you're ready, one more on your own. And just move at your own pace, take it a little slower if you need to. Once you're finished, just stay here at the top of your mat, hands to your heart. And dropping gaze down towards your fingertips. Trying to keep that same rhythm going there with your breath. And then we'll step back about a foot or so from the front of the mat. First, there's a little bit of room here to work, and then we'll get started with this quick rocket class. Feet together, bend your knees. And let's lift the arms up, interlace the fingers, turn the palms to the ceiling. And then see if you can go down a little bit lower here. Be sure you can still see your toes. Knees are drawing back. Navel drawing in. Look up towards your hands. And then again, arms are strong. You're trying to take as much of the bend out of the elbows there as you can get. And then as you exhale, let's go Ardha Utkatasana. Arms parallel to the floor. And knees drawing back a little bit. And then as you exhale, straighten the legs, forward fold. Drop down to a little squat. We'll try our first arm balance here, crow pose, hands shoulder width and fingers wide. And then as you lift up onto your tiptoes, squeeze your knees in on your arms, look forward, lean forward, grip through the tips of your fingers, try to pick one foot up, maybe lifting that other foot up. And see if you can hold here for maybe just a fraction of a breath. That's all it is today. Your next exhale, let's take the legs back, chaturanga. Upward dog, inhale. Then downward dog, exhale. And a few deep breaths here. Press through the hands, lengthen your spine out. Take one more deep breath in here. And as you exhale, take a big step forward through your right foot, pivot the left heel down. Come to warrior B. Inhale, reach the arms up. So take the arms out long first, relax through the shoulders. We're going to lift the right arm up, bend your elbow. You're going to take your left hand, grab your right elbow, you're going to pull it a little bit further over so this hand gets more to the middle of your back. You're welcome to stay there, or you can try the bind. The fingers may be interlacing or just holding on to a t-shirt. Look straight over toward the side of your mat. Let's go down a little bit further there into the hips. If you need to, pressing your knee toward the pinky toe side. And with your next inhale, straighten the front leg out, reach the arms. Exhale, let's come to triangle pose, reaching with that right arm. And wherever it lands, maybe we'll take it to the shin or the thigh. I'm trying to go toward pinky side of that leg if it's going down to the floor. Flex the quad. And then lean your back away from that right leg. Your next exhale, let's take revolve triangle, left hand to the floor, either side of your foot. Feel free to shorten your distance here if you need to. Right thumb to the hip. Draw the hip back. Get the leg straight if you can. And reach the right arm up. So to help with your balance, again, you're trying to look to one spot, up toward that thumb if you can. And then see if you can keep that back foot flat on the floor. Take one more round of breath. And exhale, look down, release the hands to the floor. We'll step that left leg back quite a bit. Right forearm to right thigh. Inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, extending it out. Good. So you can stay here or you can work on shoulders. You can take a half bind, your left arm to your lower back. If you want to go to full bind, right shoulder to the inside of the knee first. So you create space for that arm to come underneath. Again, maybe finding fingers. Or again, it can be just a bit of clothing that you hold on to. If you went to the bind, the arm presses against the inside of that right thigh. The left shoulder draws a bit further open. If you took full bind, we'll release the right hand, reach the left arm back up. Inhale, come all the way back up, reverse warrior this time, left arm down, reach the right arm. And stay here for an exhale. Inhale back to warrior B. Inhale to warrior A, square the hips, reach the arms. And as you exhale, we'll take a twist this time. Hands through to heart, left elbow to the outside of that right leg. And again, we'll press the top hand into the bottom, twist, look up. Get this arm far enough to the outside of your leg. You may want to work on straight arm variation. Trying to draw that right shoulder away from the chin. Again, taking littler sips of air. It's harder to breathe here in a twist. And with your next exhale, release. Take your hands to the floor. Step that right leg back, lower down. We'll take a vinyasa. Upward dog, inhale. And downward dog, exhale. Yeah, we're going to stay in either downward dog or child's pose here for 5 breaths, just as a little bit of rest before we move to the other side. So pick whatever pose you need to. And then when you're ready with your next exhale, take your left foot forward, right heel down. Inhale, we'll come up, warrior B. And go ahead and try to lower down to the hips first. Lift through the inner edge of that ankle. See if you get a better stretch there at the inside of that right leg. And then reach the left arm, bend the elbow, and we use our right arm to help us out a little bit. And again, you can stay here or you can go for the bind, your choice. Get a really nice tricep stretch here if you keep the right arm up. And gaze focus to one spot. And release, open the arms back out parallel to the floor. Inhale, straighten the front leg, flex the quad. Exhale, reach, triangle pose on this side. Again, perhaps you have a block and you want to use a block to help out in this pose. And any modifications or variations of poses that you know how to do, and feel free to add those in here on your own. Sitting here, taking just another breath. As you exhale, bend the knee a little bit. We'll come into revolve triangle. Again, we'll step the right hand to the either side of the foot. We'll step the right foot in a little bit, square the hips. And then coming into your twist, left hand to the hip, draw the hip back. But left hand could stay there on the hip the whole time if you wanted, or again, you can start to reach the arm up. And bending the front leg, again, that's always okay. Don't want to bend the leg if you get a better stretch with it straight, but a little bit too much to get the hand to the floor. And maybe hand to the top of the foot might be all the assistance you need, or again, block. Exhale, look down, release the hand. We'll step that right leg a little bit further back, bend the knee. Forearm to thigh, reach the right arm up, take a breath in. Exhale, extend, an extended side angle, or side angle here, working on half or full bind, and yogi's choice. And if you stay in extended side angle, again, you can press the forearm into the thigh to lift the right side of the hip up a little bit, reaching that top arm out a bit further. And if you went to a bind, we'll let the left arm go, right arm back up. Inhale all the way back up, reverse warrior right away. And holding reverse here as you exhale. Coming back to warrior B. Inhale, moving to warrior A. You can adjust the back foot if you need to. And then taking the twist here, hands to heart. Right elbow, right tricep, and even right armpit down toward that knee, especially if you want to work on straight arm variation. And if it bothers your wrist in these poses, if you make a fist with your bottom hand, you can just cup it with that top one. And to lift up a little bit higher, top hand presses into bottom. And with your next exhale, look down, take the hands to the floor, step that left leg back, take a vinyasa. And when you get to downward dog, walk your hands to the back of your mat. Let's relax here in ragdoll. So your feet about 2, maybe 3 fist distance apart. A little bit of a bend in the knees, peace fingers to the big toes. Take a breath in, look up. And then exhale, just relax. So we want to keep this as a resting pose. You have as much of a bend in the knees as you need to keep the stretch out of the legs. Shake the head yes, shake it no. And with your next exhale, let's step on the hands, try to get the toes to touch the wrist. Inhale, look up. Exhale, lean a little bit further forward. And this time, if you can, start to get into the back of the legs. Flex the quads, bend the elbows, and draw the chest in closer to the thighs. And we'll let that go. Inhale, look up. Exhaling, hands to hips, chin to chest. Inhale, slowly start to come back up. And then let's step the feet back together, hands to your heart. Good. Turn around, open out. We'll face the long edge here of your mat. Good. If you think you want to go upside down, if you think you want to go into tripod, line your heels up here to the back edge of your mat. So that'll help get you set up here. You have plenty of space for the head to go. Angled up here in my microphone a little bit. Just the legs out about one of your legs distance apart. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, look up. Exhale, forward fold, follow the hands down until they touch your mat. Take a breath in, lengthen, look up. Exhale, forward fold. You can stay where you are. You can walk your hands back a little bit more if you need to get into your hamstrings. Or again, if you don't have any issues here with your neck and you want to try an inversion tripod, you're making a triangle shape here between the crown of the head and the hands. Just lowering the head down to the floor. You can bend your knees first if you need to. Maybe stay here with the elbows on the arms, see what that feels like. Or again, if you feel like the weight's divided evenly, you don't feel very much pressure on the head, and you can start to lift the legs up. And if you're still in tripod, let's open the legs out. Slowly begin to lower your way back down. And let's take another breath in, lengthen, look up. Exhale, hands to hips, chin to chest. Inhale, slowly start to come back up again. Take a little bit of a back bend here, look up. Interlace the fingers behind you. And then as you exhale, fold forward again right away. Arms off the back. You might rock the shoulders side to side here a few times. And then anywhere from a looser grip to a fist. And the fist will most likely get into the chest a little bit if you can get it to it. And inhale, let's come all the way back up. And little back bend here, squeeze your glutes, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, dive forward, peace fingers down to the big toes or hands holding onto the shins. Lengthen and exhale, fold down. Relax the neck here, look back between the legs. Elbows bending if you've got that available to you. And lengthen, look up. Exhale, both hands in front of the face. Let's take our splits series here. And just as much as you need to get into the inner thighs, you can start to toe heel the feet a little bit further apart. And you're welcome to stay here with your hands on the ground. Or if you need to, you can end to lower down, possibly down to the forearms. So just so you don't slip, keep lifting through the inner edges of the ankles. Keep your feet flat on the floor. Unless you're all the way down, then you may want to start to flex the feet in toward one another. Let's come back up to the hands. We'll walk the feet in a little bit closer toward one another. And then we'll move over toward that right leg, dropping the left knee down to the floor. For side splits, lengthen out with both legs. Left knee as far back as you can get it so we can get into that hip flexor there on the left leg. And then right knee can stay bent. Take a breath in, look up. Exhale, fold over the right leg. Good. So I'm straddling my leg here. I've got an arm to each side of it. If you can fold down a little bit further, you may want to take both arms to the inside of your leg. And that right foot just needs to go a little bit wider to do that. And go ahead and make your way back up to your hands. Walk back around towards center. Move over into that left leg, dropping the right knee down to the floor. Again, setting up just as far apart with the feet as you need to here. Whenever you're ready, take a breath in. First, look up, and then exhale, fold down. And let's come back up to the hands, walk back around to center, briefly coming back into this wide leg forward fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hands to hips, chin to chest. Slowly start to come back up. And hold here when we get back up to the top. Inhale, arms open out wide. Toe heel the feet in toward one another. And just come back to stand one side here of your mat. We'll take a couple balance poses here today. So starting in tree pose, we'll fan the left toes up. Bring back down to the floor, flex that left quad. Right foot, you can keep it on the floor, or you can work somewhere on this leg, above or below the knee. And navel in. Here's focusing your gaze somewhere out in front. Something's not going to move. But if you do lose your balance, just pop back into it, no big deal. And inhale, pull the right knee into the chest, flex your toes. And as you exhale, a little bend into that standing leg. Start to tilt the body forward, reach back through that right heel, and coming here to Warrior C. So any variations of Warrior C you'd like to do, hands to your heart, possibly hands either side of the hips, both arms out in front. Again, just those are a couple options you can start to work on. And try to keep the back leg straight there if you can. Lift through the heel and level the hip. Again, if your balance is a little bit more challenging than usual, like it appears to be for me, no big deal. Inhale, come back up. Now we'll set up here for the other side. Fan the right toes up. Bring back down to the floor. Free pose. And we'll make our way to Warrior C, left knee forward. And then let's go ahead and start to come into it. And I like to do Warrior C with a little bit of a bend here in the standing leg that should allow the pose to come into that outer right hip a little bit with the knee bend. And then lift the chest in any variation here with the arms you'd like to take. And let's come back up and set it down, release. And from here, you can come back up to the top of your mat. We'll take a vinyasa to the floor, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, plank pose. Lower down. Upward dog, inhale. And downward dog, exhale. Go ahead and drop down to a seated position. Take both legs straight out in front. And just kind of wiggle the hips back a little bit. And try to get grounded here on your mat. Legs out straight. Internally rotate the thighs toward one another. And then press the palms into the floor either side of the hips. Draw the shoulders back. Bring the chin forward. Tuck the chin down toward the chest. So we're going to be moving through a series of seated poses. If you got your strap close by, and you need to use that for your forward folds. Go ahead and have that handy. Lift the chin, reach the arms, look up. Exhale, forward fold, peace fingers to the big toes. Or again, you got a strap where you're holding onto your shins. Take a breath in, look up. Exhale, folding at the hip. Just trying to pull the chest through, the shoulders drawing back. And if the elbows bend, we'll let them bend a little bit. And as you exhale, we'll move into B, thumbs in front of your big toes, hands pinky side of the feet. Inhale, look up. And exhale, fold down again. Just relax neck, crown of your head pointing towards your toes. And inhale, look up. Exhale, let's come all the way back up. We'll take reverse tabletop, hands behind you, lean back, feet on the floor, hip width. Inhale, lift the hips, drop the head back. Squeezing the glutes to lift up just a little bit higher here. And exhale, come all the way back down. Make our way to our first boat pose. So boat, you may want to keep your hands on the floor. You can hold here to the back of your legs, or maybe arms just go free. Cross the right leg in front of your left, hands forward. Go ahead and roll through. We'll take a vinyasa. Any vinyasa that you would like to skip for the rest of the class, and up to you. Come back through to seated. We'll take the left leg out straight. Lean to your left side, so you see if you can bring the right foot next to the hip. If this bothers any, try to sit on a block or take Janu Sirsasana A, right foot to the inside of the left leg. Inhale, reach the arms, look up. Exhale, forward fold, hold to your shin or hold to your foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold down again. The left hand can be there out to the side. If you feel like you're leaning a little bit too far over. And inhale, look up. Exhale, let's come all the way back up. Now bend this left leg. Interlace your hands around your left foot. Lean back just a little bit. And then we'll try to lift this left leg up. But if the leg doesn't want to lift, you may need to take the right leg all the way out straight. Let's try to keep lifting through the chest. Look towards your foot. And then we'll take the hands to the calf. Point the toes. Lift the leg in a little bit closer towards you if you can. Try to keep it there. Let your arms go. Reach them up. Exhale, bend the knees, set the foot on the floor, press through your right shin, come forward, vinyasa, or if you want to take a one-leg version of tripod, crown of the head to the floor, right leg up. And you can set it back down. You can take both knees to the floor first, and then we'll take a vinyasa, step back, lower down, upward facing, and downward dog. And come back through to seated. Right leg out. And lean to the side, left foot next to the hip. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, and exhale down again. And stick with your breath. And inhale, look up. Exhale, come up. Lean back a little bit, bend the knee. Take that left leg out if you need to. Lifting the right leg up. One more breath here. And then the last breath or two, hands to calf, point the toes. Leg as straight as you can get it, both arms lift up. Hold here, take another breath in. Exhale, set the foot down. You can use your right hands there if you need to help yourself forward. Vinyasa, or again, perhaps trying your inversion again. Right knee to right arm, left leg lifting up, left leg down, right knee down, step back, vinyasa. Let's come through to seated, soles of the feet together. Interlace the hands around the feet. And sit up tall. Draw the shoulders back, chin forward, chin to chest. And gaze will lift up toward your forehead. And with your next breath in, look up, lift the chin. Exhale, fold at the hips. Try to lead with your chin and your chest. Try to get the elbows to go in front of the shins. Use the strength there in the legs. Press the knees down to your mat. And inhale, come back up. Lean back a little bit. Lift the legs up, come back to Navasana. Cross the legs, come through, Vinyasa. Step or hop, come through, lie down on your back. Draw your knees into your chest. Just rock side to side a few times. And we'll take a twist here, drop your knees over to your right side. And the left arm opens out. Right arm can open out as well, or you may just want to let it rest there to the top of that left leg. Let's come back up to center and change sides. Drop your knees over to your left. Right arm opens out. Come back up to center. Take your feet back to the floor. Go through just a couple back bending poses here, starting with bridge. So let's take your elbows in close to your chest, bend your arms, and then lift the hips up. We'll rock one shoulder underneath your back and then the other. Interlace the hands behind you. And then squeeze the glutes to try to lift up just a little bit higher. And exhale, lower yourself back down. Take the soles of the feet together and let each knee fall out to a side. And before we tuck ourselves out of round two, we'll come right back into it. Feet on the floor, back to hip width. You can come back to bridge if you want to work on wheel, setting the palms on the floor either side of the head, and you can work on a full back bend there. So if you're doing bridge, let's come back up to bridge. If you want to take wheel, lift to the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, press through both arms, lift up. And go ahead and exhale, lower yourself back down. Same resting pose. And pull your knees into your chest. And rock yourself up to seated. Let it take a few times. Rock from the feet to the shoulders. The next time, rock all the way back up. We'll take the legs out. We'll keep a bit of a bend here in the knees. And then as you fold forward, we'll grab the elbows underneath and rest your head. And coming back to that deep Ujjayi breath. Let's make your way up to seated. Come to a comfortable cross-leg position, or you can sit on your heels, however you're most comfortable here. Interlace the hands behind you, slide them back, look up. Exhale, forward fold, arms off the back. And stay in this forward fold, just let the arms rest on the back. And come up to seated. Take your hands to a comfortable spot, close your eyes. And last few deep breaths. Sit up a little bit taller, lift through the crown of the head. Back of the skull will pull back just a bit. Go ahead and lie down on your back. We'll take relaxation here for these last few minutes that we have together. Lying down, taking the legs out long, your feet about to the edges of your mat. And palms face up either side of the hips. Close eyes, relax. Slowly start to bring the awareness back to your breath. Fingers and toes. Greater inhale, reach the arms out long overhead on the floor behind you. Stretch, reach, and exhale, relax. Go ahead and roll over to a side, use your arm as a pillow. Stay there, take another breath. And go ahead and press yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. And hands to your heart, close your eyes. Thanks for practicing. Namaste. So, thanks, Patreon supporters. If you're watching this on Patreon, if you saw this on YouTube and you'd like to join, we do 6 live classes a week. I'll have the link in the description, and then the next slide will have the schedule that we're doing right now. So patreon.com/yogamat. See you there. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that class, and thanks for being a member on Patreon. You can download the Patreon app on your phone for classes on the go, and the Discord app to chat with your other Patreon yogis at any time during the week. See you next time.